I'm so excited. Okay. Hey you guys, it's Hera Caine, and today is the day. It's finally here. The next Sanders Sides video. So I am super excited, and apparently Thomas has been working on this like really hard, and as evidenced by the lack of sleep on his Twitter feed. And I am, oh my god, you guys, I am obsessed. Like, I love these videos so much because it's literally like watching what goes on inside my head. It's crazy. So anyways, I am waiting for it to finish uploading, and then I am going to, I guess, film myself watching it because, well, why not, right? Why not? So yeah, I have literally been waiting and oh my god, I am so excited, you guys. Anyways, so whenever it finally uploads, I will start from there and start recording. So yay! Oh, I hope you guys are excited as I am. Oh my god, it's here. Turn it down because it's going to be loud.
The video where I usually lead off with some sort of silly, out-of-context joke, but by now you already know the drill. His name's Bill.
Oh my goodness, I love the intro.
What is up, everybody? That wasn't good. I'll tell you what's up with me. I feel like a raging dumpster fire. I want to really get going and deliver this video with the same pep and bounce that I usually do, but I don't know. I mean, like, when you're feeling sad, you're feeling sad. I'll take redundant statements for 400. Wait, am I the first one to show up? That's not good. Yeah, Virgil, I'm not feeling great today. No? Yeah, yes. Wait, no, yes meaning no, or yes meaning you're feeling good? No, yes as in I agree with the first statement. My first statement was about your redundant statement. Not that first statement. You can only have one first statement, Thomas. Alright, starting over. I feel bad. Okay. Is that okay? I mean, yeah, it's just nothing's coming up. You're ahead of schedule. You got no complaints from me? That's nice. Never mind, I do have a complaint. You're behaving strangely. Oh, well, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to kick in here for a sec. Thomas, you're wasting time on this YouTube video, so you better start getting into your dilemma and stop putting it off for later. I've just been thinking. Thinking? About what? Guys. What else is new? And dolls. Oh, I thought we were done with this. Can everyone else get in here, please? I am not equipped for this. I didn't realize that everyone meant only one. Pat and Roman are preoccupied. Helpful. Thomas?
Preoccupied. Uh-oh.
I've been thinking about guys and dolls. Yes, I'm well aware. Thomas, it is time to move on. I feel like I'm... Listen to me. I feel like I'm nearly out of productive things to say on the matter. I'm just frustrated. I'm just frustrated. I'm sad. I mean, are you still wearing that cat onesie from the previous video? No, I literally put it back on just
Yay for cat onesies.
Perfect. You know that's not what I meant. We already have one situation we have to deal with, and I told you that's not a practical garment. You can try to knock me down, Logan, but I will always land on my feet. Like a cat. I've got it. Thomas, you write down all of your thoughts and feelings in an eloquent letter and deliver it to him in a basket full of his favorite things. Whoa, what? He's been brainstorming all day. He has yet to come up with one productive, non-creepy idea. I'm not creepy, I'm joking, alright? You just don't understand.
Oh,
well,
wow.
I understand that it's making you act pathetic. Somebody say cat aesthetic, take it off. Oh, that old cardigan just weighs me down. That's patently absurd. Surely the onesie would have been funnier if you said patently. Can we all just focus on the issue with Thomas?
Oh
I can't believe I'm the one corralling you guys. Indeed. The situation we all seem to be aware of by now is that Thomas is once again thinking about guys. Well, yeah. What else is there? And dolls. Guys and Dolls, the musical. Oh, wow. That too. What about it, though? I mean, it's a fine show, but aren't there more important things to talk about? Or better shows? There's a Harry Potter play. There's a Harry Potter play. We just did Harry Potter. You want to talk about Harry Potter play? And you know full well what it means when Thomas is thinking about guys and dolls. I don't know what it means. Sue me. Oh, I get it. There's a song from Guys and Dolls. Believe me, Logan, if anything serious is ever eating at Thomas, I'll know. There's another one. You're on a roll. Why don't we just call him? You know, we can call him right now. Stop. Text them. Ruben, sit down. You're rocking the boat. Oh, my God. You too. The dominoes were all set up. I had no choice but to topple them. Logan, that joke was just the cherry on topple. I'm so sorry. in my belt. I'm seriously so tired of being the taskmaster here today. Can we... Right. Thomas, why are you still feeling so dejected over something that transpired months ago? I'm sorry, guys. I really am. It's just... When you've been in a relationship as long as I was, it's hard to let go of those feelings. I don't know why, but it is not a problem that is so simple that it can be solved by standing here talking with you. Well, maybe we don't have to let go of those feelings. There must be some sort of way to recapture the past. Do you have any chill? Actually, Roman may be onto something. Yes, I am. I am! Well, in a way. I don't mean resurrecting a long-dead relationship, so to speak. So you're not talking about rekindling the fire with our former flame? I'm definitely not talking about that. What do I look like, a Boy Scout Scoutmaster? I'm speaking in reference to reflecting on what once was.
That's always a bad idea.
For the past can
Always.
yield positive results.
Always.
I mean, I can say the only way that I'm making myself feel better is by remembering the good times. A 2013 study authored by Wing-Yi Chung, Hera, and 4 of their colleagues found that not only can nostalgia make one feel better in the moment, it also has the potential for making them feel more optimistic about the future. And what better way to bring people together than by relating to one another's nostalgic memories? Say, that's a good idea for bringing together you adults. It's called a joke. Dude, have you ever heard of it? I mean,
wow.
Why would it do that, Logan? You can let your
Roman
past
is out of
motivate
control.
your present. There were good times. You accomplished much. You won medals. Won hearts. Let those positive checkpoints inspire you to keep going for more. But what if looking at the past makes them feel kind of iffy about the present?
Oh boy, yeah.
You think it's a good idea for me to be soaking in a big old tub of the past? Well, granted, there have been many different views on the concept of nostalgia. As recently as the 80s, a psychoanalytic theorist described extreme nostalgia as debilitating. But since then, a great deal of research has contradicted this. It's perfectly normal for humans to nostalgize. They do it at least once a week. Yeah, I remember my grandma used to pull out this old scrapbook each weekend. You see, even now, he is feeling nostalgic about an instant in which he felt nostalgic. Incredible. Say, what about a scrapbook filled with all the good times when you look up the word joke in the dictionary?
Wow.
Jack Smellington? From what I can gather, Thomas is already experiencing that bittersweet longing for the past. I say that instead of fighting him on this and creating a more distressing headspace in the process, we allow him to indulge in those memories. Perhaps that will help him to understand that circumstances can improve. Can and will can. Let's not jump the gun here. Can they?
Oh. Whoa.
Of course they can. If you've previously experienced stretches of time during which you felt fulfillment and happiness, then the idea that you could experience something similar in the future is not inconceivable. It's happened in the past, therefore it's decidedly not impossible. I'll be the first to admit this isn't the resolution I'd like us to settle on, but I don't have much else to add. Whatever can work. There definitely seems to be room for improvement. Would you warn me before one of your little out-of-context epiphanies? Yeah, I'm sorry. I got excited. I know that Virgil's room is the place I have to go in order to heighten my anxiety. I kind of think that your room is literally sunshine and rainbows. Well, it's not quite like that. Still, you're at the core of a lot of our happy feelings. I'm at the core of a lot of your feelings. Maybe going there and enhancing those happy feelings is what I need. Honestly, that does make sense. You should see it. Patton holds on to everything in the past that you've cherished. I mean, it is peak proud papa. Perfect. Pardon, Patton. I just thought I would hop aboard at the alliteration station. But seriously, my room is kind of a mess. I don't know if this is a good idea.
Wow.
Don't you want to help Thomas move on? Yeah, of course I would love that. But I think that's decided. Okay. Another field trip. Great. Wait, did you see what I did there? Did you see? I made it sound like I said field trip, but I said field trip. Field trip. Yep, it was a good one.
Okay.
Very Romano cheesy. Romano. Okay, well, here's hoping that nickname doesn't last. Please, Romano. Thomas, are you sure it's Patton's room? Thinking of happy thoughts. Here we go. Lockfield, lady tonight. You know, put the guys in dolls.
Worried.
I've got a bad feeling about everything. That's why we're doing this. Okay. Whoa. I immediately have less bad feelings. Wait a minute. This is nostalgia nirvana in here.
Oh my god. It's everything I thought it would be. Oh, this makes me so happy. Oh.
the sweet embrace of yesteryear. Yeah! Oh, I'm so glad to have you all here. Oh, I don't know why I was so hesitant about it before.
Oh, we're about to find out.
The old patent panels. Is that my glowworm? Look at how creepy it looks. Oh my goodness, look at all the memories you've got stored in this place, Pat. There seems to be a high concentration of items encompassing your education here, Thomas. Oh man. So many years of chemical engineering and science that you decided to flush down the metaphorical toilet. I forgot about everything I learned. Oh, good times. And hopefully more good times ahead. There's always time for you to abandon your current lifestyle and pursue a doctorate. Sweet Barbara Streisand, the show memories, the performances, the attempts at dancing we think went okay, but would prefer not to focus on. I can box step at the best of them, though. 5, 6, 7, 8. No need to demonstrate. Wow, are these all your old journal entries and stories that you wrote in middle school? These are so cringy. Why would they be here? Because they're still Thomas's work, and it's very fun to look back on. Don't be embarrassed, Virgil. You really liked drawing yin-yangs on the margins of your notes. That and houses. A little box. The roof and
hello,
2 windows.
middle school and junior high. Yin-yangs on everything.
Get it out of the way. Who wants to start? Yeah, I think we've already started, Logan. Oh, great. I don't know how this works. Hey, remember this? Is that... Okay. The rainforest rap? Oh, my stars, it is. Bars it is. Yoga from Star Trek. All right, turn it off. We don't want a copyright strike. This is what inspired your interest in helping to preserve the rainforest, and then helping the environment, which in turn led to you pursuing chemical engineering in the first place. It seriously all stemmed from that simple little tune. What? Tropical rainforest? More like bopical rainforest. The song is a pop! It stuck with you so much I can still recall it to this day. Welcome to the jungle. It's so exciting, exalting, mysterious, and we are inviting you on an adventure. Please. Too much. Embarrassing. Ah, man, this takes me back. Hey, you remember this? My little hardcover book, yes. Oh my goodness, wait, I talked about my imagination, all the things I could do with it, the things I could create. Oh my goodness, the memories. This is me electrifying my brother. Oh, the echoes, on the stage, the cheers, the laughs. Look, the first community theater award you ever received, a golden apple. You remember? Oh my goodness, yes. I won Best Actor for playing Coco in Hot Mikado. One of the first times you were awarded for acting weird. And more would follow. And therefore, more faux golden fruit may await you as you continue to pursue your nonsense art of leaping around in front of everybody, shouting about things you've never experienced. Thomas, I bet this might bring you back. Okay, this is all very nice, but you guys gotta stop handing me things all at once, okay? I'm sorry. That is the smell of Christmas in a box! Yeah! The tree, the cookies, the eggnog that your parents made you? Oh, feels unhealthy. Oh, those memories were so thrilling and so mysterious. See, there is an annual event you have to look forward to. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's different now. I mean, as an adult, it's I don't know, it's not the same as when you're a kid. Well, that may be the case. However, old poems you wrote? Oh, you were trying so hard to be edgy. I feel like I'm an archaeologist that dug up an ancient cringe compilation. Look, I had a lot on my mind growing up, especially as a teenager. That you did. Constantly escaping into your mind to get away from real life, wondering when you were going to start liking girls, creating these other worlds where things just made more sense. Ah, yes, those were hectic and busy times for me. Well, that's about the time that you upgraded from small nuisance to giant thorn in our side. For good reason. Yeah, it was a busy time for me, too. I mean, the stakes were high. Thomas was really starting to develop as a person then. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, that's funny. So I might not have had Roman create half as many of the stories and worlds as he did without Virgil giving me reason to. That's weird. Well, fortunately, things make more sense now. Or, rather, will make more sense in the future, right? I guess. I mean, that's the goal, right? Developing a clearer perspective? Somewhat, yes. Is that not what's happening? I'm not sure what's happening. I'll show you what's hippity happening. Is that one of my pound puppies? Ah, chocolate! His name is Chocolate. Oh, boy, times were amazing back then. Some might say way better. Boy, it's just so sweet and good and pure and happy and wholesome and sweet and lovely. And I'm running out of things to say. Man, I miss all this. Oh man, remember when our outfits used to look like this? Wow. So embarrassing. Ah, feels like only yesterday? We changed in the last video. Pat, your room is awesome. Like, I don't know why you would want to leave it, ever. Like, I don't want to leave my room half the time. Well, Thomas, looking back at these euphoric memories sure does inspire hope for the future, does it not? Yeah, sure. Look at this!
Keep it up, Logic.
This is the coolest thing. It has buttons. What? Get out. I know! Well, I know you're gonna flip out at this. Trust. Funds. Yes, this place does have it all.
They're kind of all tipping over on the scale.
In there? But think of everything the future has in store. Virgil, are you okay? Oh my goodness, I remember this too. The songs you used to put onto big CDs and
that was a CD player.
Disney Mania much? I must have listened to Pink's first album like 100 times. Of course, Thomas. It might not have been the best idea for you to come here. Such a foolish oversight on my part. You are a habitual worrier. Yes, I think that we established that quite a long time ago, Spence. Oh, is that bad for my room? Well, I didn't think Thomas was too different from others, but anxiety almost always has a seat at the table whenever he makes any decisions. So I would say he worries more than what would be considered the norm. Okay, but that still doesn't explain. I know I told you that nostalgia can cause people to be more optimistic about their future, but for habitual worriers, nostalgia can have an adverse effect on their overall mood. It can sometimes cause them to look back on the past compared to the present period in their lives and cause them to ruminate even more on how their present situation pales in comparison. However incorrect that outlook may be, their anxiety worsens.
I can hear you.
No. I'm going to take that as a yes. Come on, let's go. It's time to end this experiment. Wait a minute, you can't go now. We haven't even started reminiscing about all the Broadway shows that he's seen. And all these old photos. Look at this. They're right, Logan, we can't leave now. There's still too much to look through. I don't understand this. What is the worth of memories if they don't spur you on to make new ones? I am familiar with this whole ordeal's origin, but it is in the past now. Thomas, it makes no sense. Look, it's fine. It's fine. But if you would only keep... Oh, hush, sub-astute teacher. All of this because Patton can't let go of one person? Logan, can you stop? Please? You know what? Fine. If you don't want to listen to me, this is your issue to resolve. I am outie 50,000. 5,000? Beginning.
Uh-oh.
Hey, do you guys remember the 5th season of Lost? Do you remember the one time we did a cliffhanger? Yeah, that was 2 episodes ago. Wait, what did you guys do? Oh, he wasn't here for it. We left the video right at the dramatic climax. People were so confused and upset. It was wild, man. That sounds cool. Good thing we're not going to do that again. Especially if you're just doing it. That would just be stupid. We're doing that right now, aren't we? Yes.
Hey, you guys. Okay, so for some odd reason my camera was acting weird, so I went ahead and just was overheating, I guess, so I turned it off. Luckily it was at the end of the video, so that's cool. Anyways, so yeah, that kind of hit home pretty hard. As the ones of you who actually know my real life, I've been dealing with something very similar, and sorry, my hands are shaking and my camera's still not acting normal. So anyways, the past basically all of 2016 and most of this year I've been dealing with some stuff in regards to a past relationship, and I made the mistake of letting this person come back into my life in a major way and ended up really screwing over any progress that I had made in my emotional healing. And it pretty well stunted me for a while. And I think to a degree it will always affect me. I mean, I made it out of a 10-year marriage and we're still best friends, but this guy's the one that messes with my head. So yeah, I kind of stayed in that nostalgic corner myself for far too long. And I'm really excited to see how this video turns out, because with the part 2, because for me, I am a lot of times still there. in that what could have been and what was, and I don't necessarily want to be there again. Don't get me wrong. But there's always that little part that, you know, all of these things that were so awesome back when, you know, you always talk about the past and way back when and back in the day and back in my day, and I think to a degree everybody has it, but as was mentioned in the video, people who are compulsively worry, and it's much easier for us to slip into that and stay there, and it messes you up. It really messes you up. A little nostalgia is always good. You know, it's good to look back and have these, you know, oh wow, this you know, this is what happened here, and this is great, and it makes me feel good to think about those things, but now look, we can move forward from it and learn from it. But my brain doesn't work like that. It's much harder to rein in, and it's much harder to escape that cycle once I get into it. Once I get into the oh look, this happened and it was amazing and incredible, and then oh, over here I work as a waitress and I have 10 tons of laundry to get done, and my house isn't clean enough for company, and you know, and back then I remember a time where it was like that, where it was easy to do those things, and where there was a time where I went to college. I actually had a plan for my life. I mean, 13 years ago, I finished beauty college, and I mean, cosmetology school was incredible. I loved it, and I loved doing it, but then something clicked, and I couldn't bring myself to finish it. I mean, I have all my hours, and all I have to do is just pay the money and go take the test, but I mean, now it's at the point where it's been so long, I mean, I don't think I could do it. And, I mean, a lot of my problem before was the same thing. It's like, I don't think I can do it. And then I moved on to, you know, raising my family, and I married Jeff, and, I mean, honestly, that's the only good thing I think I've ever really done. And you see, I'm doing it right now. And that after we separated, I went to school, and I was doing great there, and everything was wonderful, and I finally got my list of diagnoses and was able to start treatment for things that I didn't even know were wrong with me until it was pointed out, and I started to feel like a human again. And my kids were doing great in school, and everybody's, you know, we were happy, and then I met this guy. And things seemed incredible. Everything moved really fast, and it was not ideal. But I was still young and dumb, and I thought this would be great, you know, and we both came from similar backgrounds, and we both had a handful of kids, and it was just, you know, I loved his kids, and he loved mine, and it was just, it seemed perfect, and it was really, honestly, too good to be true. Because this person ran at the first sign of trouble. He knew what he was getting into with my mental health. He knew what he was getting into with my ADHD and my chronic illnesses. He knew what he was getting into. And still, even though he accepted those things on the surface, when it came down to it, he ran when the going got tough. Fine, run. Find another girl. And if you look back on my Instagram feed, you'll see a whole bunch of my just outward projecting of those feelings at the time and not hiding a damn thing, because screw hiding. I hid for way too long, and I hid my anxiety, and I hid my depression, and I hid my, you know, things as simple as my ADHD or my SVT. I hid those things. Like, I tried to appear normal, and I'm not neurotypical. I'm not normal. I'm not like the rest of everybody else in my life, pretty much. So yeah, when he left me, I thought I was going to be with this guy forever, and I was planning on being grandparents with him, and I was planning, you know, on having a house in the country, and we would go travel and do all these things. And even today, I'm still grieving for that lost dream of what could have been. He came back about 8 months after he left me because things weren't going so great with a new girl. And having not gotten over him, I let him back in. I let him back in like a moron. And so yeah, that screwed me up pretty hardcore. And I'm still not okay. And I don't think I ever will be okay completely. Not really. So, I mean, watching that just brought up a lot of, a lot of feels. And I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to that end of it, to the, you know, to the hanging on to things, to the hanging on to past relationships, and the hanging on to the what once was and what could have been, and how things have all changed. And I really hope that, you know, it helps people to know that they're not alone, because you're not alone. There's a lot of us that are still right in the middle of it. I'd like to think I'm coming out on the other side, but I'm still not really sure about that either. But it's a process, and I'm working on it. And I won't stop working on it, ever. So, anyways, that was, you know, my reaction to the video, definitely. So, as always, be careful, be grateful, and most importantly, always be you, because you're freaking awesome, and I love you. Bye, guys.